The goal, to put it simply, is for the deficit to be in the range of 3% of our economy by the middle of the decade. It's important that reducing the deficit is a crucial step for us to take, but at the same time, we need to invest in areas where if we don't invest, it will undermine the ability to generate economic growth in the future. So we need to out-educate, out-build, and out-innovate so the economy will create jobs in the future. On the discretionary side, the domestic discretionary side, we have a 5-year freeze, which will save $400 billion over 10 years. That brings spending on this part of the budget down to the level that it was at as a share of the economy when President Eisenhower was in office. Part of the cuts are in outdated programs, things that are duplicative, and things that we would choose to cut just because it's the right thing to do. Part of the cuts are not going to be in that area. They're going to be things that we wouldn't do but for the fiscal challenges we face. And we've enumerated many of them. Reductions in community development block grants by $300 million, cutting the community services block grant in half, cutting the low-income home energy assistance program by $2.5 billion, cutting the Great Lakes Restoration Initiative by $125 million. These are all things that in a different environment, we wouldn't be looking at making those kinds of reductions. We take $1 billion out of grants to large airports, almost $1 billion from state revolving funds for water treatment and plants, and in total, we have more than 200 terminations and reductions. And we have a book, which I'm sure many of you will get a copy of, that lists how we get $33 billion in savings just in this year alone. The savings are not limited to the domestic area. In the national security budget, well, we're not freezing budgets in that area. We are making serious reductions. In defense, which has been growing faster than inflation for more than a decade, we can no longer afford to stay on that path. Our budget brings spending on defense down to a no real growth level. And that means $78 billion of savings over the next 5 years.